all the men of thy confederacy have turned against thee. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to do a quick video on this article I found here from RT.com, as you see in the website up here. And basically, South Korea, who is an ally of the United States, is urging the EU to team up against the United States. Okay, now we know that the EU, which is the European Union, is also known as the European Community, the European Common Community, ECC. Okay, and the European Union, or the European Common Community, is governed by the 7 heads of NATO, which will be the 7 governments. Because, you know, in Revelation, the 12th chapter, it speaks about a dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, that dragon is talking about NATO. The 7 heads are 7 governments, and the 10 horns are the 10 cities that are ran by these 7 governments of NATO. And the 7 heads are Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks. Okay? So these are 7 governments, or 7 kingdoms. And the 10 cities which are governed by these 7 heads are Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England and Ireland, and West Germany. West Germany being the 10th city. Okay, and the reason why Spain and Portugal are together is because they're practically in the same country. So, you know, just like with England and Ireland, same country. Okay, so they really count as one. So these are your 10 cities, which represents the European Union, or the European Common Community. And basically, these 10 cities that I just told you about, prophetically, according to Bible prophecy, these 10 cities are going to shoot intercontinental ballistic missiles on the United States of America. And to prove that, let's go to Revelation chapter 17, and I'll start at, let's see, I think I'll start at 15. Okay. So Revelation chapter 17 verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore, who's the whore? The whore is Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America. Where the whore sitteth are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. So that's the waters, the peoples, because America, when it says peoples, that's literally talking about the whole world predominantly. And multitudes and nations and tongues. When it says tongues, right, it's talking about languages. Okay, predominantly, what language do these other nations speak outside of their native language? It's English. Okay, when you go on TV, you don't see Chinese people speaking Russian or Yiddish. You don't see them speaking Swahili. You don't see them speaking East Indian language. You don't see them speaking Arabic. Outside of their native language, they're speaking English. Same thing with the Japanese. Outside of their native language, they're speaking English. Same thing with these Arab countries. When you watch news like Al Jazeera or any of these other Arab news media stations, okay, outside of their native language, what are they speaking? English. Same thing with these Russians. Outside of their native language, what are they speaking? English. Same thing with the Africans. Outside of their native language, what are they speaking? English. So that proves that America, which predominantly America's main language is what? English. Okay? Europeans. Okay, if they're not speaking French or Spanish, what are they speaking? English. So America's that great horde that sitteth upon the peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. America is that great horde, which is the Babylon the Great. Okay, verse 16. And the 10 horns, which is the European Union, the European Common Community, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, the beast, which is the dragon, NATO, okay, these shall hate the whore. So these 10 cities is going to hate the whore, okay, and shall make her desolate, how? And shall make her naked, how? And shall eat her flesh, how? And burn her with fire. So she's going to be, in that fire is talking about the fire of nuclear warheads. So there's going to come a time and point where NATO is going to turn against the United States of America, rather if it's during the full-blown World War III, which we're already in World War III, but rather if it's during whether if it's during a full-blown World War III, or maybe even before that. We know that NATO inevitably is going to turn on the United States of America. They're already in the process of turning against the United States of America. Okay? You know why? Because America forced the European Union to put sanctions on Russia's gas so that Russia would be restricted from sending gas to Europe. Because when you put sanctions on a country, you're basically restricting access, or you're restricting that country from trading with a particular country. And that's what sanctions do. They restrict a country from doing something. So because the United States have forced Europe to put sanctions on Russia's gas and oil, now Russia is restricted from sending Europe gas and oil, which in return has did what? Put Europe in an energy crisis, a gas shortage, a gas crisis. People down there in Europe are freezing. They're buying up all the firewood. They're running out of firewood up there. People's literally stealing firewood because it's so goddamn cold down there. People are freezing in Europe. And right now, people here in America, they're warm, they're comfortable, they're listening to their little Christmas music. So these Europeans, they're fucking pissed at the United States of America. And they're literally considering if they should take sides with Russia or not. They're considering. Because every time a news article comes out, right? Every time a news article comes out, it always revolves around Europe further distancing themselves from the United States of America and becoming closer to Russia. Because Russia have never done Europe any harm. It's the United States that's doing Europe harm. And then, of course, verse 17, for Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. Okay, that's Proverbs 21 verse 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and as the rivers of water, he steereth his mind whithersoever he will. Okay, it says, and to agree to give the kingdom unto the beast, and to the words of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai shall be fulfilled. Now let's go to Obadiah. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy. What is a confederacy? A confederacy is a alliance. Okay? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. Right? So all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. So you're being deceived, America. While you think you have allies, the allies that you think you have will soon turn against you. So you know what I call that? A temporary alliance. Right now, South Korea and the EU, they are in a temporary alliance with you. And that's according to biblical prophecy. Because inevitably, they're going to turn against you. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.